A few months ago, we came here to Cocora Valley, one of Colombia's most photographed landscapes. It was beautiful, breathtaking even. But there was just one small problem. So did about 700 other people with selfie sticks. So this time, we came back. Not for the crowds, but for what lies beyond them. Something quieter, wilder, and still wonderfully real. Our camp sits beside a forgotten bend of the Quindío River, far from coffee shops and tour buses. Here, time slows down. The sound of rushing water replaces the ping of notifications. Setup isn't just routine, it's rhythm. Tent up, stove on, phones off. Everything slows, everything feels earned. As the sun sinks behind the ridges, the valley exhales. And you realize this is what you were chasing all along. Not just adventure, but silence that feels alive. Because therapy doesn't always come in a bottle. Sometimes it comes wrapped in canvas with a fire crackling and a river singing you to sleep. Morning comes softly here. The fog drifts through camp. The birds wake. And for a moment, the world feels reset. A little starter fluid, and just your thoughts echoing off the water. Everything feels simple again. With the morning to ourselves, we soak it all in. With the quiet excitement for what the day has in store for us. We pack up camp knowing what's next isn't in any travel guide. We're heading to the other side of the forest of palms. Not the version on postcards, but the one that breathes and sweats and smells like wet earth and freedom. We leave the river behind and point the Prado toward the edge of town, towards a place the locals call Bosque De Palmas. This is not a quick photo stop. This is a drive through mud, mist, and magnificent chaos. The first few kilometers are easy. Gravel roads, curious cows, and puddles that seem friendly enough. Then things change. The trail narrows, the gradient climbs, and the ground starts behaving less like dirt and more like pudding. But that's the fun of it. The slipping, the sliding, the uncertainty. It reminds you why we do this. Overlanding isn't about comfort. It's about capability. Capability of your rig and a test of your mindset. Every obstacle becomes a conversation between confidence and control. And then you crest a ridge. The air thickens. The forest closes in. It feels almost prehistoric. You're driving through clouds so dense you can barely see the end of your hood. Everything, the trees, the rocks, even your dashboard, wears a coat of green moss. This is the Bosque De Palmas. It sits between 1800 and 2400 meters above sea level. Humidity? About 90%. Temperature? A gentle, misty chills that feels almost sacred. And then they appear. Colombia's national tree, the wax palm. The tallest palm species in the world, some of them stretching up to 60 meters high. That's 20 stories tall. They only grow here, in these high Andean valleys, and nowhere else on earth. Locals once used their wax for candles, which is how they got their name. Today, they're protected, living monuments to resilience and fragility. But unlike Kokora, where you admire them from behind a fenced trail, here you drive among them. They tower over your rig like ancient guardians, vanishing into the fog above. It's humbling, almost eerie. It's as if nature built a cathedral and somehow you got invited inside. After hours of winding through mist and mud, the palms slowly thin out. The forest opens, the air warms, and the road begins to descend. We follow it, deeper and deeper, until we spill out into open farmland. This is the forgotten back road to Cajamarca, a route few ever take. The trail is still rough in parts, switchbacks, washouts, and the occasional cow blocking your grand exit. But after what we've just crossed, it feels easy. By the time we reach the edge of town, the smell of eucalyptus gives way to diesel and fresh bread. We find a quiet corner to air the tires back up, that bittersweet hiss of returning to pavement life. Mud splattered, tired, but completely content. The highway back home feels almost strange after days of dirt. Smooth, predictable, civilized. And yet, part of you already misses the noise of the gravel under the tires, the sprinkle of forest rain, and that feeling that the world was bigger, wilder, and yours, just for a moment. Here's the truth about journeys like this: they don't just show you the world, they show you yourself. Somewhere between the slipping of tires and the quiet of the forest, you stop trying to control everything. You just flow. Like the river that led you here. This isn't about escaping the world, it's about reconnecting with it. One muddy trail, one peaceful night at a time. We came looking for landscapes, but what we found was perspective. This is Overland Therapy. If this journey spoke to you, please consider subscribing and share it with someone who needs a reminder that adventure isn't found, it's made. And as always, we'll see you on the road or off it.